Good morning, greetings, friends, and welcome to The Bright Side, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I'm your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado. I use nutritional supplements in my practice where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and sometimes deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your vitality and health and well-being and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to The Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body. You are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health issue. That's why we're here every day on The Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 29 years of practicing pharmacy, I've seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes and hypertension and obesity and skin diseases like psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, acne, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds, recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle. But what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure. Because the human biological system, the human body, is a healing system. It's a regenerating system. It is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis. And while some folks may call that a miracle, it really is just the way the body works. If you have questions about health or nutrition or prescription drugs, we want to hear from you. We welcome your phone calls at 844-236-6010. If you want to wean yourself off your meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program, we can help you do that. 844-236-6010 is our number. On the bright side, 844-236-6010 is our number. If you're interested in checking out any of the longevity products, please head over to my website, brightsideben.com, criticalhealthnews.com, or pharmacistben.com. You can order products right off the website. You can also sign up to join the Brightside Ben team. Love to have you on our team. You can make some money selling longevity products, helping spread the word about the power and importance of a good nutritional supplement program. You can also call the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470, 866-735-2470. And if you're interested in purchasing any of our Truth Skin Health products, head over to truthtreatments.com, truthtreatments.com. Check out our Retinol 5% Gel, Truth Serum, Truth Balm, Truth Omega-6 Healing Cream. We also have a blog up, a Skin Health blog, at truthtreatments.com, truthtreatments.com. Okay, welcome back to The Bright Side. Once again, I want to say a few more things about our ketogenic diet. We're going to talk about it in terms of practical application here for the next day or two. By now, most of you know the ketogenic diet is a low-carb, high-fat diet. Proteins are said to be moderate, whatever that means. To understand how all nutrients and their relative proportions in the ketogenic diet work, it's important to recognize that the body treats all the food that we eat, as delicious and as tasty as it might be to us, as just fuel and raw material. Proteins go to build things, bones and muscles and cells and organs and the stuff that makes us us. Under conditions of fat and carb deficiency, proteins can sometimes get turned into fuel as well. Carbohydrates are basically long chemical chains of sugar. They get turned into fuel pretty quickly, and what's not used up is stored as something called glycogen. And if there's any extra, that gets stored as fat. The fats are mostly stored in the liver and then in the muscle and fat cells, unless there's not a lot of carbs around, in which case the fats get burnt for energy. For most of us, the majority of fat we eat is going to get stored in fat cells, of which we have many billions. The secret to the ketogenic diet is avoiding the carbs, and so the body is left just the fat to burn. It's a fat-burning diet. If you're going to be able to leverage the weight loss properties of the ketogenic diet, you have to have around 65 or 70, even up to 80% of your calories coming from fat, 10 to 20% of your calories come from protein, and a very small amount, 5% or less, coming from carbohydrates. There's no real official standards for the ketogenic diet, so that's kind of a rough guideline. 65 to 80% or so of your calories coming from fat, 10 to 20% of your calories coming from protein, and around 5% coming from carbs. For seizure disorders, which is the primary medical use for the ketogenic diet, and this is what's typically practiced in a hospital or otherwise medical setting, you're going to want even more calories to come from fat. According to a 2006 article that was published in the journal Epilepsy Research on the ketogenic diet, greater than 90% of your calories, 90% or more of your calories should come from fat. This is if you want to leverage the anti-seizure properties or anti-seizure effects of the ketogenic diet. As far as Alzheimer's disease goes, and diabetes and heart disease, these are the other major uses of the ketogenic diet. There's really no definitive suggestions. You're just going to have to experiment. But if you stay at around 65 to 70% of your calories coming from fat, you're probably going to notice some pretty significant benefits, and quickly as well. In case of Alzheimer's disease, you may notice benefits in 24 to 48 hours. And keep in mind, it's the kind of fats that are also going to play a role in how beneficial the ketogenic diet is. French fry fats don't count. Processed fats and heated fats are never going to be healthy. So you want to stick to butter and coconut oil for the most part. Eggs are a perfect ketogenic food. Dairy is good too, preferably raw and unprocessed if you can find it. Seeds are also good. Chia seeds, hemp seeds, flax seeds, and if you can sprout the seeds, that's even better. If you grind your seeds up, you're going to get the benefits of the fiber, which is really filling, and that will help you prevent snacking. Keep in mind, if you're trying to lose weight with the ketogenic diet, in addition to using fats, in addition to keeping most of your calories coming from fats, you're going to want to keep your calories down. You want to keep your calories down to a minimum. Eating only when absolutely necessary. That's a general rule of thumb for health. Eating only when necessary. Sounds kind of like, obvious that we only eat when necessary, but unfortunately we don't eat only when necessary, and that's a big problem. Eating fiber is a great way to support caloric restriction. Probably the best way, one of the best ways, along with protein, to support caloric restriction. Fiber is very filling. Of course, one of the best ways to get fiber, and your carbs for that matter, is by eating veggies, which are about as close to a perfect keto food as you're going to find. Although you have to keep in mind that veggies are not always benign. Sometimes there's stuff in veggies. Sometimes there's medicinal compounds in veggies that we can react to. To understand the importance of veggies in any diet, really, just as a health food, but particularly in terms of caloric restriction and the ketogenic diet, we have to take into account the nature of the body as an electrical system, as an electrically vibrating system. Fruits are important too, but because of the fact that fruits are kind of, technically speaking anyway, they're extensions of vegetables. They're the result of the pollination of flowers that are found in vegetation, so fruits are actually kind of an extension of veggies. And because fruits tend to be higher in sugar content. The sugar in a fruit is there to feed the seeds. The fruit encapsulates seeds, and the stuff in the middle, the pulpy stuff in the middle, is basically food for the seeds. And sugar is a primary source of energy for seeds, so fruits tend to be higher in sugar. So we're just going to talk here about vegetables, but as far as foods go, as far as superfoods go, veggies are ridiculously important. But in order to really understand how powerful and how important veggies are, we got to talk a little bit about how the body is an electrical system, an electrically vibrating system. We spend most of our time on the bright side, and most of the time we talk about nutrition, we really talk about chemistry, biochemistry. But when it comes right down to it, our health and wellness depend on the flow of electrical energy. We are electrical beings. And the flow and the movement of electrical energy is not homogeneous. It's not like there's one kind of electrical flow. Electrical energy doesn't just move. Electrical energy pulses. Electrical energy pulses on and off rhythmically, and it pulses on and off rhythmically at different rates. The technical term for this pulsing on and off is frequency, and it's extremely important to understand if we're going to really take advantage of the power of vegetables. We'll talk about that when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back after this. We're back on The Bright Side. Thank you for joining us. We're on the air Monday through Friday, 8 to 9 Pacific and 10 to 11 Central Time, 24/7 on our archive pages at brightsideben.com. Also, benfuchsarchives.com. You can also check out my blog, criticalhealthnews.com and pharmacistben.com. You can purchase longevity products right off the website. You can also sign up to join the Brightside Ben team right off the website. You can also call the phone team at 866-735-2470. And if you're interested in checking out our Truth Skin Health products, including our Truth Retinol 5% Gel, you're not going to find that one anywhere, folks, except at truthtreatments.com, truthtreatments.com. All our Truth Skin Health products are made without preservatives, without fragrances, without water, without filler, without wax. They last months, and you're not going to have to deal with any ingredients that your skin doesn't need or doesn't want. Truthtreatments.com, truthtreatments.com. And you can also check out my skin health blog at truthtreatments.com. Okay, so veggies are the perfect ketogenic food. They're the perfect caloric restriction food. They're loaded with nutrients, and they're loaded with fiber. And to understand how unbelievably important these things are, we got to talk a little bit about the electrical nature of the body. The body is an electrical system. We talk about chemistry all the time, but it's really an electrical system. It depends on the flow of electrical energy, which occurs in various rates or pulses. The technical term for the pulsing of electrical energy is frequency, and there's many different frequencies that the electrical energy in the body pulses in. We hear the word frequency all the time. A low frequency electrical pulse, technically that's called a hertz, after some guy named Hertz who first came up with the concept. A low frequency electrical pulse, or a low hertz, turns on and off slowly, or cycles slowly. It turns on and off, pulses, cycles at a slow rate. The electrical frequency, for example, of large entities like planets, like planet Earth, is around 7. It pulses on and off 7 times a second or so, something like that. They call that the Schumann resonance. A high-frequency electrical pulse, say radio waves, can pulse thousands of times, even millions of times a second. That's called a kilo or a mega frequency, or a kilohertz or a megahertz. In the body, there's lots of different vibrations and frequencies. You've got the heart frequency, which is around 1 to 2 cycles per second. The hairs in your inner ear can vibrate up to 10,000 cycles per second. The little tiny particles in your eye can vibrate trillions of times a second. Can you imagine this? Trillions of times a second. How does something vibrate trillions of times a second? That's the amazingness of the electrical nature of the body. So the body's made up of all these different pulsing rates, all these different frequencies, and they're all operating simultaneously. And for us to be healthy, all of these pulsing rates and all of these different frequencies have to be occurring at just the right proportions and just the right frequencies, all at just the right rates. We are electrical systems, and our electricity is vibrating at many different rates, and this is where minerals come in. Minerals carry this electrical vibration. Minerals store this electrical vibration. Minerals pulse. Minerals have frequencies, and the body can use these frequencies as activators. The frequencies activate the chemistry. They turn on the chemistry. All of our biochemistry is activated by the electrical frequencies, the energy pulses that is carried by the minerals. That's why minerals are so fundamental. They turn everything else on. Vitamins are activated by minerals. Enzymes are activated by minerals. Proteins are activated by minerals. Fats are activated by minerals. Sugars are activated by minerals. All the cells of the body are activated by minerals. And without these minerals, to the degree that they're missing, we become sick and we ultimately die. Living organic minerals, I'll tell you what these are here in a second. Living organic minerals are the fundamental energy of the life force. They carry the fundamental energy of the life force. And without them, nothing could live. And this fundamental nature of minerals and their relationship to health and disease was one of Dr. Wallach's brilliant insights, maybe his most brilliant insight. And why he and longevity places such importance on their regular intake. Because over the last hundreds of years, farming and fertilization and soil depletion have kicked in. Veggies, which should be carrying these minerals, have become depleted in the minerals, and that means the animals that subsist on them have likewise, or will likewise, become deficient in these important electrical substances. So, the most important source of these electrically vibrating substances in our day-to-day lives are the vegetables. These vegetables perform the great miracle of somehow turning inert, inorganic minerals into living substances in service to the animals that subsist on them. Vegetables serve the animals. See, we live on a planet of minerals. We live on a rock. Earth is, in essence, one big mineral made up of about 4,000 different minerals, and every year we find more, probably 30 or 40 more minerals are found every year. So Earth is one big mineral, one big rock made up of about 4,000 little